To be a student athlete involves a unique and demanding culture, filled with daily practices, a full academic course load, and an expectation to always be the best. However, until recently, the psychologist's role in college sports had typically evolved more slowly than the needs of these athletes. But today, many Division I athletic departments have now integrated full-time psychologists to provide their comprehensive care and services to student athletes.
Our goal would be, through our mental health program, to allow our student athletes or have our student athletes view those support services no differently than when they have a physical injury. We want them to be able to seek help for their psychological injuries, if you will call it, just like they would for a physical injury.
And ready to help with those injuries is Florida State's new full-time licensed psychologist, Dr. Kelley. Located right in the Moore Athletics Center, Dr. K is available to work with all student athletes anytime they may need her counsel.
FSU really does believe in a whole health model. So physical health is as important as mental health, and they're both so connected. But often people forget that while you can see a knee injury or a shoulder injury, you can't see an anxiety or depression injury. And our athletes need that same kind of support and rehabilitation during times that they're struggling with those things.
It's no surprise that student athletes occasionally feel overwhelmed. Having anxiety, depression, grief, and eating problems just scratches the surface on what these elite athletes may face. So how should one detect if something might be wrong?
Here at Florida State, we place a high priority on educating our staff and coaches on the warning signs to help identify students who might be struggling with their mental health, and then point them toward the resources that we can offer both within the athletics department and also on campus even.
Of college students suffering from a mental illness, 1 in 3 will seek professional help. But in the student athlete population, it is staggering that only 1 in 10 will seek help.
I would definitely say probably 85% of the student athletes that I see have never seen a psychologist or ever received any kind of mental health care. So they're pretty nervous at first, but I would say about 100% of the student athletes that I do see could have certainly qualified for getting mental health services at some point in their life. I think that very often we forget that these are young adults, great athletes, really trying to do their best, and they have a lot on their plate.
And with all that student athletes deal with, recognizing that their mental health is just as important as their physical health is a huge step in a positive direction when it comes to understanding long-term effects.
I think the focus on mental health of student athletes has grown so much since the time that I participated a couple decades ago, and I'm really proud of what we've done here at Florida State to address the mental health for our student athletes.
I feel that sometimes everyone on the team, our coaches, our teammates, might not have that outside perspective to talk about things that are going on in our lives. It's just nice to have someone from the outside to talk about things, because you don't necessarily want to talk about running all the time or have the perspective of a runner or a coach. So it's really nice to have that outside view.
So it really becomes my mission, I think, to help them have a really good experience, a positive plus effective experience with a psychologist, so that when they do leave FSU, they won't be afraid of getting that, or they'll know that it's really helpful in their whole life.
And with the introduction of FSU's mental health program, student athletes will have the ability to tackle anything thrown their way. I'm Kelly Roper for Seminole Sports Magazine.